Here, not been around for a while, so I thought I'd put a bit of content out, try and get back up to speed with things. To be honest, not a lot's been happening with the pond over the winter and early spring. It's been so wet and horrible, I've not really had a chance to do anything, but hey ho, it is what it is, and we're in spring now. Well, by the looks of it, it's not really very springy at the moment, but yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick update. I'm going to run through the pond, my setup, what I've got on the pond, just in case I've got any new subscribers that haven't seen it. Again, if you've not already subscribed, please subscribe, give a thumbs up and share, it'd be much appreciated. So yeah, so I'll spin you around and we'll crack on. Okay guys, so there's my pond. It's Sleeper Construction. It's roughly about 8 foot by 8 foot by 4 foot deep. Like I say, it's Sleeper Construction. It's looking a bit ropey at the minute because I've neglected it for a couple of years, to be honest. So this season I'm going to be repainting it all and getting it back to its usual self. Got a window, it's roughly just over 1 metre long. It's made up of 2 10mm pieces of glass and laminated through the middle to give it its strength. So yeah, this was all built during COVID, after I had a major accident, well not accident, a major problem with the pond, but I'll put a picture in, and I'll show you what happened, which inspired me and kick-started me to get a pond like this. This is what kind of like the sort of pond I wanted for a long time. So yeah, so it's made of sleepers, it's got a pergola on it, I've got all the standard Temu hanging stuff on there. My original idea was to have nothing on there, but you know what it's like, you get one then you get another. Got the bird box up there to attract some wildlife. I've got various amounts of bonsai here that I do myself. They're all done from nursery stock, all shaped by myself. So yes, I like doing that. Fish are doing all right. Water's a bit murky at the minute because I had to do a treatment of PP. I found trichodina on there. Yeah, so that went in at the weekend. I didn't bother filming it because everybody's seen how to PP a pond. Yeah. They seem to have come out of that okay. And the way I do my PP is obviously I'll bubble it up for half an hour or so, whack it in over an hour, but what I like to do is I just leave it in there. I don't bother after 4 hours or when it starts going brown, put hydrogen peroxide in it. I just leave it and let it go brown. It does create a little bit of scum around the edges, around the bottoms of the pipes and that, but yeah, I can live with that. So yeah, that went in at the weekend. Like I said, I found a bit of trichodina but they're all looking okay now. There were a couple flicking and flashing, that's why I added it. Better safe than sorry. Okay, so yeah, so back to the pond. So yeah, like I said, it's a sleep construction. There's my little filter house, well, house, filter box, whatever you want to call it. So the pond is roughly 4 foot deep. It's running on a bottom drain. I don't know if you can just see that. It's not aerated bottom drain, however I used to, when I first set it up, I put a air ring on there on top of the bottom drain, but since then I've learned that you don't really have to have a bottom drain. Some people say you do, some people say you don't. So all my air is coming through the back of shower, which is not a massive back of shower, but it's doing its job. And I've got a moving bed in here with plenty of air going in that, so that's what I use to create my my air for the pond. Got a nice selection of fish. They're not show fish by any means, but they're my fish, which is all that matters. I've got some of various ages in there, and I kind of like of the notion, buy small and grow big. Yeah. Yeah, over the years we've had loads of fish, many loads of fish, and we move them on. Some have passed away, you know, but we're always kind of like changing what we have in the pond. I know some people keep their fish in there for 20, 30 odd years, which is fair dues, but we kind of like, not get bored of them, but it's hard to go to a koi place and not buy any new fish, isn't it, guys? Yeah, so that's it. So what I'll do now is I'll go through the filter system, and then yeah, we'll see where we'll go from that. Okay guys, so here it is. Very crude, not the prettiest in the world, but it works, and it works for me, so that's all that matters. Okay, so yeah, so I'll run through it. So 4-inch bottom drain, 4-inch swept bend into a vortex. So this is a 30,000 litre what is it, Oasis Vortec. Yeah. Last season I had a smaller version of this, which was running just on its limits because of the size of it and the size of the pond. It was just running on its limits. It's working, but because we wanted to add more fish, and the fish were getting bigger, then obviously I needed a bigger filter. So I weren't going to pay some of the extortionate prices. Some people were trying to sell these for, I don't know, for what, for second-hand ones. You might as well just gone out and bought a brand new one. But eventually I did find this one on Facebook Marketplace. It cost me 50 quid, so everyone's a winner. Yeah, so yeah, so I've got 1, 2, 8, 10, I've got 12 brushes in there. That's the mechanical side, so it collects all the crap and everything in there. Then moving over, I've got jack matting underneath all these sponges. So again, that's mechanical stroke biological. All I do when I'm cleaning it out, obviously I take the brushes out, give them a rinse down, and then here I'll take the sponges off. But they need a clean again. I think that's due to the PP that we put in the other day. Yeah, so I'll take those out, give them a rinse out, if there's any heavy build up in the brushes under the jack matting, sorry, underneath, then I will give it a quick rinse out with the hose pipe, but I tend just to leave it, see how it goes. Then moving on to the second bay, this is purely just jack matting, and I don't touch this. This is just left. Okay, it's just left to its own devices, do what it wants to do what it's got to do. And then yeah, I've got my moving bed. I love a multi-bay filter. You can tinker with it, you can do what you want with it. Yeah, it took me a few tinkers to finally get this to where it is now, and like I say, it's just self-sufficient now, and it just does what it needs to do for me. So yeah, I've got moving bed there, I've got K3 and K3 in there that I've had left around from previous filters and that. I've got the odd one or two big bio ball in there just for added filtration. So yeah, then it runs through the pipe work into a 55 watt UV, and then runs down. So there's a pump at the bottom here. So that pump is 5,000 litre an hour pump. It runs through the UV. There's my air pump there. Yeah, and I know what everybody's saying. That should be above the water line, which I know, and yes, it did happen. I'll put the picture in up here somewhere. So what happened was, we had a power cut. I forgot to turn this valve off, which sometimes I can run the air disc in the bottom, the air ring in the bottom. Yeah, I forgot to switch that off. Power cut went off, and yes, it siphoned back in, tripped everything out. Schoolboy error. So yeah, but obviously I've not learnt from that, it's just stayed there. But yeah, I was quite lucky actually, because it was I stripped it down, let it all dry out, and then by the power of God it started working again, which I was quite lucky, because I didn't fancy the thought of going out and having to spend more money on another air pump. But hey ho, there you go. So yeah, so then it runs back into the pond. If you see it down there, for a mid pond return. And in fact, no, that's wrong. Blimey. Don't even know my own pond. It's there. It used to be a mid return back into the pond, but what I've done now, I've added the pipe work there, and then that runs into my backy shower. Yeah, not the biggest backy shower, it's only a 30cm long width backy shower. It's full of alpha grog, but it's doing its job. Yeah. Also, I've made my own little inline skimmer there, just to take some of the crap off the top, which is, you would think it's not working at the moment, but it does, believe me. So that comes along here, then up, and then into this box here that holds my Tempest. So there's my Tempest guys hiding away in the little wooden box. I know everybody's had lots of trouble with their valves, but I don't seem to have had any trouble with mine. Touch wood. I've had this for about 3 or 4 years now, and I've not really had any trouble with it. it bubbles away fine, you know, it does what it does. So yeah, again, this is all going to get painted up again. I might even, one of the jobs for the spring or early summer is get rid of all this feather edging on the filter bay here and all here, and sort all this wiring out, sort the box, the electrical box out, yeah, make it look a bit more tidier. Let's go back to the backy shower. So yeah, this is a backy shower. Like I say, it's not the biggest in the world, but it's doing its job. It fits well within the pond. I don't really need a great big massive one. All the pond plants are coming out. This one absolutely grows massive, so it kind of like hides this anyway, so you can't see it. Do get a lot of lime scale on here, so if anybody knows a good way of getting rid of that, leave a comment below, would be much appreciated, because it is a pain in the arse. I do try and scrub it, but I know it's lime scale and that's what some waters bring, but it is a bit of an eyesore. So yeah, these plants are starting to spring up now. I broke a bit off and stuck it in there just to see what that does. It's actually doing quite well. Yeah, so if you're wondering, I've got this tray here underneath, because when I first fitted the backy shower, my lovely wife, she didn't like the sound of it crashing into the water, so I devised this to eliminate that. So all it is a potting tray, with 2 holes cut in and the pipes running back underneath the water to create a bit more flow. The jack matting's only there to stop any blanket weed going in, because I do in the summer get quite a lot of blanket weed sort of like forming in here, but it worked quite well. This is all alpha grog, providing another kind of like bit of biological, I suppose. But yeah, the pond plants are starting to come back up. I'm gonna, once that's started to grow a bit more, I'm going to take it out this pot, and then maybe put it in here somehow and let it cascade over. But yeah, it's all looking good. So yeah, so that's a bit of a rundown on my pond. If you want to know any more about it, feel free to ask me some questions, or put a comment in the comment box in the below. Yeah, what else can we say about the pond? Excuse me. It's got a bit of it's got this cover on. Oh, I'll tell you now. It's got this sort of like this shady sunscreen on the top. I put that on to give it a little bit of dappled shade from the sun. I am thinking about putting a bit sort of like across the back here, because when the sun comes up it beats down from that way and straight onto the pond. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing. What else? So it does light up at night. I've got these 2 solar powered lamps off the good old Temu. So yeah, they work really well. Once it gets a good sort of like 8 hours of sun on them, it does light it up really well. I'll put a picture up here, or I'll add it and show you what it looks like, or I might even do a separate video on it. Garden's starting to look pretty good. Everything's starting to come into flower, everything's budding up. Azalea's starting to bud up. But yeah, so that's my pond. Let's look at the fish. Got a few nice fish in there, like I say. That one down there, I wonder if anybody, let's see if I can get it, this one here, I wonder if anybody could shed a light on what kind of koi that is. When I first bought it, the guy did tell me the name of it, and I'm pretty much sure, if I can remember, he said it began with a K. Now that could mean a number of things, but not to me. So if anybody could shed a light on that, please drop a comment below, it'd be much appreciated. So yeah, that's about it for the pond. So yeah, so like I said, that's roughly my pond. It's a crude little pond. It's a honest little pond, and it does me. I have had other ponds in the past. If you want to look at some of my other videos, you'll see pictures of it and why and how I got to this stage. It used to be an in-ground pond. I'll put a picture up here. Yeah. So yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's running well, I'd say. I haven't had really any major issues with it. Like I say, it's got a nice little bunch of fish in there. Now, while I remember, in fact, let me show you. Yeah, so what I've started to collect is these things here. Let me just close the door. Sort of popping over. Is these that are little metal tin or tin metal or whatever you want to call them, signs. I don't know why I want to start collecting these. I just thought, whoa, let's do something to sort of like hide this door. So I thought I'd start getting these. So especially like this one, this was bought by my wife for me. That's a picture of all my koi in the pond, and it's got my tag along the middle. I've got one on the shed as well. Gardening because murder is wrong. It sure is. So yeah, that's it. I don't really know what more to talk about. So that's, in a nutshell, that's my garden. That's my pond. That's my filter. And yeah, looking forward to the spring summer. Yeah, so if you've liked this video, I know it's not. The thing is with me, I tried to do, you know the film, was it called Dunkirk? Where they did it all in one take. With my videos, I kind of like try to do that, and I don't know why. I should just split it down and get more into it, but yeah. Like I say, I've been off this for a while, so I'll probably get back into it. The thing is, I don't really, because the pond's self-sufficient now and it don't really do anything, I don't really have anything to video sometimes. I mean, I could video cleaning filters out, but everybody's seen that. Everybody knows how to clean the filters out. And a lot of people have got drums now anyway, so they don't need to clean the filters out. But yeah, hey ho. Oh yeah, before I forget, let's go and have a look. Let me just go and show you what my choice of food is this year. Now last year, sorry guys, so last year we bit the bullet and bought a bag of sakiyakari. Yeah, could only afford a 2 kilogram bag, and believe you and me, we made that last forever. every time we dropped a bit on the floor, it was like, whoa. We're trying to find it in between blades of glass, trying to pick up every single bit of pellet that you've lost. But yeah, but what we did was we bought a bag of this, which might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it was cheap. Yeah, we bought a bag of that, and we mixed it in with the Sakiakari to make it last a bit longer, which worked well. We still had that about a quarter left of that Sakiakari at the end of the season. So we did that. We have this as well as treats. So we feed that as treats, and yeah, they seem to take to it really well. But what we've decided to go for today, this year, sorry, put that back. But what we've decided to go for this year, which we will be mixing with that as well, the staple food is this. Takazumi mix. So there it says it's got the colour and growth. So we thought we'd give that a go. Bit cheaper than Sakiakari. Sometimes you kind of like get a bit more in weight as well for the cheapness, which is good. So we're going to give that a go. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with Sakiakari, but yeah, every day is a school day, and we need to sort of like mix it up a bit and try other foods. Yeah. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using this year. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I know it might be a bit bitty and things like that, and I might not have come across really well because I'm a bit out of practice with this. So, but anyway, if you've liked the video, please like, share and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. Tell your friends about it. If there's anything you'd like me to do a video on, drop a comment in the box below. And yeah, and I'll catch you on the next one, guys.